Hello, I'm David Christman, and welcome once again to Film Focus. Today, we're looking at Blue Like Jazz, directed by Steve Taylor and based off the book of the same name. Blue Like Jazz tells the tale of a young man named Donald Miller, who has spent his whole life as part of a close-knit religious community as he becomes disillusioned with his life and enrolls as a student at the very progressive Reed College in Portland, Oregon. The transition is anything but easy, and we follow Donald as he spends his first year at Reed and explores things he never thought about before. Something that's special about the film's camera work and editing is that it isn't special. At all. None of the camera angles or movements are noticeable, and you would always know what the next shot was going to be if you were paying attention to the editing. But you're not. Most films that use these kinds of formal elements are quite limited by them, never really achieving their full potential. Blue Like Jazz is an example of why this way of editing works. Apart from a couple noticeable instances, the camera just gets out of the way and lets the story happen. The cast of this film is somewhat young, though they're all more than talented enough to make up for it. Marshall Ullman, who played a character on True Blood, plays Donald very well, and the rest of the cast stands up to his performance. Names like Claire Holt, Tanya Raymond, and Justin Welborn may be familiar to some people, but to most of us, these are new faces. I think that's a good thing, since it means there's no frame of reference for how we think these people should act. They simply are their characters.
Is this gonna get weird?
Yeah, probably.
There's a guy dressed in a Pope outfit pushing a burning shopping cart.
As for how the plot works, I almost find it hard to say anything about. Director Steve Taylor obviously got good performances out of the cast, and the camera work is such that the story is all you're thinking about, but there's something difficult to describe about it. Looking at the film in a bubble, it doesn't look like anything special, but it is. There's just something about this film that makes it just feel right. When watching Blue Like Jazz, I didn't feel like it was a contrived plot. The people in the film felt real. However it worked, Taylor got me to suspend my disbelief more than any other film I can remember. This finally brings us to a discussion of an important aspect of the film, how it deals with religion. The protagonist, Donald, comes from a very religious background, and the film does deal with religion. Now, that will turn some people off to this film from the very beginning. To those people, I would say, give Blue Like Jazz a chance. Yes, religion is an important part of the film, and I'm sure that some other critics will call this a religious film, but it isn't in my mind. Blue Like Jazz is a true coming-of-age story, but isn't stereotypical. It doesn't pull punches or fall back on the usual characters. As we watch Donald grow up and explore his new world, it feels real, because we're with him finding out there are no easy answers. This film is an honest look at a conflicted life and a young man searching for answers. In case you haven't figured it out yet, I really like this film, and would suggest that you go see it. Whether this is truly a great film, or whether it's just the right thing at the right time for me, I honestly don't know, but you should see it and make up your own mind. Blue Like Jazz came out today, April 13th, and will be released on DVD later this year.